There was a real intention behind ABA. We had a big intention of trying to change animal health and trying to change the way the supplement world looks at the ethics of the environment and the ethics of nature.
This will say this started out as a conversation in April of 2015.
I was introduced to Dion by a friend of mine, Rodney Habib, and he was on me for a few months saying, "You've got to meet this guy. He's like brilliant in the pet industry."
And basically, we just discussed the possibility of different types of products.
Rodney had known that, I came from a background of having 5 integrated holistic veterinary hospitals in British Columbia, and knew my intention of trying to bring all of the formulas that I created in my vet hospitals to the market so that I could try and help people navigate their animals' health that didn't have access to holistic vets, because that was a big issue. It still is.
Getting to know each other, once listening to you speak about all the different possibilities and products, and me getting a grasp of like what type of products could actually help with allergies, was crazy to start out with.
So, the intention was for me to try and put together protocols that were really easy for people to use, because when I first had my vet hospitals, people thought I flew in from, on a broom when I would say, feed raw food, start them on probiotics, don't over vaccinate, ... to when I sold my hospitals, almost 20 years later, people coming to me with bags of supplements, like literally, coming into the exam room and putting a bag of supplements on the counter for me to go through and see what these animals were on and what maybe was reacting to them in a negative way, even though they're natural. Anyway, so I had this huge idea in my head. I knew immediately when I met Dion that he was going to be able to help me on that very, very important business side. I didn't have any experience with distribution, tons of experience with vet hospitals and working with animals, but not a lot of business experience from perspective of sales or getting the product out there. So that's kind of how we met and how it started out. Fun. Well, go ahead, Dion, you can go first.
I was working full time at the time, and Julie had started out in a small little location in Windsor, Nova Scotia, and she was trying to sort of do all the marketing and everything for the company with the formulas, and then also at the same time trying to handle the logistics.
I was pretty new to Nova Scotia too, right? I had moved out here from Vancouver, so had no idea like who to contact for boxes. I mean, I opened all my vet hospitals and marketed all my vet hospitals and, did a lot of navigating with that. But this was different, finding a box company, finding someone to help me do the brand, finding somebody to get jars and labels, and it was pretty intense. So contacted a box company that in Windsor, Nova Scotia, and the owner's name is Aaron. Halifax Box or folding company, yeah. And he was such a huge help for me in helping me find labels and jars and connecting me with people. That was great. And then I found I went to a very small market, like a farmer's market, and this woman was doing these incredible folk art paintings, and I commissioned her to paint the brand, so to actually paint the scene on the beach, which is my beach, and on my farm. and all the animals on that beach are my animals, or were my animals. Some of them have passed now, but the whole idea of that painting of the beach scene, we call it, is we want people to follow us to change the way the world looks at the ethical treatment of animal care, including veterinary care, including holistic care in general. So that was what the scene was painted for everyone to think about that when they looked at it.
So I had taken sort of all the logistics and the operational stuff away to my basement location so that I could look after it while I was home, and my family could help sort of coordinate that stage of it. So Julie could focus on what she needed to focus on to help the company really grow, and I could help with the operations side of the business.
Yeah, and then my ex-boyfriend and I were basically in this little tiny storefront, really cute, 200-year-old building in one of the main streets of Windsor, Nova Scotia, and taking calls, and he was like packaging and taking them to the mail or getting the courier to come in. It was pretty very interesting. And yes, like Dione mentioned, we found I took all the formulas to this really incredible manufacturing company in Nova Scotia that only manufactures for human naturopathic doctors. So that was the grade that we even started with in the company. Like we wouldn't even look at animal grade supplements or animal grade ingredients. These were professional grade, a lot higher than you can even get in health food stores. So we started off, right in the cream of the crop, and which was hard to find, someone that would manufacture our products at that level. So we were very lucky to meet Leslie, and she was incredible with us, putting all my formulas together. I would bring her the formulas, she would help me source them. It was really, we were very lucky. We found some really incredible people to help us bring this forward.
We did that for probably about 2 years until we finally moved out, and then found a location from there and started onboarding staff. So at the time, it was basically Julie, myself, and my family that was starting out Adored Beast with no staff at the time, till we in 2018 moved into a new location and then started to bring on staff, which we're happy to say now we have 42 employees, 44.
Yeah,
We'll have to check on that.
I know. Well, every day it's like, oh, hi. We were first to the market with a leaky gut protocol that I used and formulated at my vet hospitals. And that was really fun, because when I came and said the first product I want to launch is an actual protocol, so a box of like 5 different things, and for to try and work through leaky gut syndrome. And that's why Dione and I clicked so well right away, was because he got it right away. Whereas a lot of business people were saying to us, are you insane? You're gonna launch a product that no one even knows what leaky gut is. You're gonna have to educate it like crazy. Protocols aren't there, and they still, to this day, I don't really know anyone that boxes up protocols. And the reason I did that, actually, I'm gonna shout out to Rodney again, Habib. He was also saying, like, it's so confusing, right? Like, he did a little video for us, because just in the leaky gut protocol alone, people would have to go and buy almost 40 different separate ingredients and figure out how much to give, and there'd be like 40 bottles of stuff on somebody's counter. So this was made with the intention that it made it simple, it made something quite complicated very simple for pet parents. So we did the same with Yeasty Beast. We have one for Easy Peasy, which is to help with crystals, to help with bladder health. That, as I said, all of these formulas are tried and true in my vet hospital with my patients. You know, they're not something that we just thought about and marketed. They're really, really well clinically worked with at 5 different vet hospitals with, you know, numerous different veterinarians. And the next thing that we brought to market was that was first to the market was a species specific probiotic. So creating a probiotic that was made from the feces of a dog, the feces of a cat, feces of horses, and then feces of wolf. What that did is, up until that time, everybody used probiotics that had been, you know, for people and not species specific. And that was pretty cool. I did a lecture at PI University, so the veterinary university in PI, and talking about leaky gut syndrome and the microbiome. And a vet at the end said, you know, I love all of this. I think the microbiome is incredible. This is like 8 years ago, so before it was really popular. But she said to me, wouldn't it make sense to use the bacteria, the species from the species that it came from? And I said, yeah, of course it would. And she said, why don't we? We don't use that for animals. And I said, because no one's done it. And I remember driving home, and it's about a 4-hour drive, and thinking, okay, well, there goes my new roof of my house, and there goes my new car tires, and you know, this is something that we were looking at and thinking about. But when she actually brought the question up in this lecture, I'm like, okay, we just have to do this. So we worked with a company that was starting that research, and was, like I said, first to the market with that. And then our mushrooms are very unique. Our mushrooms are first to the market when it comes to the way that we extract it. So, and we have a different vision about our mushrooms. We really believe in like mushroom wisdom in growing them in bacteria and stuff. So this would take a very, very long time to really talk about, but I would say those were the first to the market. We had a phytoplankton, a very specific proprietary blend of phytoplankton. And the other thing that was first to the market is that I don't believe in anything that's not functional. So we were we were the first company for pets to coin the term functional ingredients only. So no fillers, and every single solitary thing that goes into these products are functional. So, you know, things like maltodextrin, they aren't functional, and they're in every single probiotic. You know, there's a million things in supplements for people and animals that are not functional. So we were first to the market to have a functional prebiotic. So we did a whole bunch of research on turkey tail as a prebiotic, chlorella as a prebiotic. So we launched a soil-based probiotic with a chlorella as a prebiotic. We launched turkey tail as a prebiotic that was with our wolf, which was another, you know, first to the market probiotic. So I could go on and on. There's lots. And then on top of it all, you know, our cancer research is something that's, you know, I don't know anybody else, any other supplement company that's doing that kind of research.
Being in distribution where there's, you know, probably 20 to 30 different supplement lines in pet stores, and having a lot of history working in pet stores, just seeing the small volume of supplements on a daily basis being sold in pet stores, because I did work in distribution, so I saw where sales were maybe at, and the small amount of supplements being sold into stores was a little bit concerning to me. And of course, anybody that I would talk to about it would say there's no chance a supplement company, like, you're crazy getting into supplements, because it's just not a line that probably is going to be successful, especially in Canada. And sort of right off the bat, obviously the strategy was to start out ABA online, and really try to sort of work it from that angle. But at the same time, there was sort of a real need for our types of products in pet stores as well, just because if working with stores over 15-year period, the main thing that everybody comes into a pet store for is their dog has allergies. And I guess for me, like, the first thing that sort of set it with me talking to Julie was, the fact that with dogs having allergies, it's a hole in the stomach lining and the food particles are going into the bloodstream. And basically with this leaky gut protocol, it's going to help with those allergies. And, just seeing some of these dogs with no fur and the fur completely coming back on these dogs, it was just kind of like, okay, this is going to sell everywhere in the world, not just in stores in Canada, because it was just so powerful seeing these dogs and the results they were having. And this was in the early stage. And I mean, at the time there was zero advertising budget, so it was all on word of mouth that our brand was actually going to grow. So it was the success that the stores were having on talking to customers about it, and the customers coming back and showing the results, and then it just sort of ballooned from there, that the word of mouth continued to grow and grow and grow, to the point where we had some companies in the US looking for our product, and then we started shipping into the US, and then it was just full blown that it was going to be a success no matter what at that point.
Early days, I was probably one of the main educators for Dogs Naturally magazine. So I did tons of lectures, went to Chicago, did lectures on leaky gut syndrome, on the microbiome, on cancer, was in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. Dogs Naturally had a massive following, thousands and thousands of people, and I wrote their courses, a lot of their courses. I wrote, I did a lot of their blogs, and all of their conferences, all of their, they did lots of big online conferences back then. They were like cutting edge from an education piece with natural health. So I was able to teach. Well, I was the main educator for sure for the microbiome and leaky gut. So I was able to teach people that before we even came out with products, and I was very lucky that way, because I was known as the expert in that field, and it just followed hand in hand that then I came out with, we came out with a product that addressed all of those issues that I was teaching. So the only time we got pushback, or the only time that I think that we may have second guessed, was from companies like business people. So we didn't get pushback from, pet parents or veterinarians that I, close friends and veterinarians of friends of mine, or we never got pushback by them. We got pushback by, business consultants, things like that. And Dione is as tenacious and brilliant in that end. And I have that other side of, almost 30 years of working clinically in vet hospitals, working with these products and navigating through allergies and cancer and every single autoimmune disease you could possibly imagine. So, the combination of what we bring to the table, I think, is the magic behind ABA. And also Dione and I have very similar philosophy about the environment and nature, and And I can honestly say we have a huge amount of respect for each other. So, Dion is, sort of takes the lead when it comes to his wheelhouse and background, and he, and I'm happy for him to do that. And then he is equally as supportive with me when it comes to the research and the ingredients and the products and, sourcing and things like that. I've always been a kid that, at 8 years old was trying to figure out how to make animals healthier and how to help animals. And I always say that my animals are sort of like my guardian angels. So I have a rescue farm here that Adored Beast funds, 100%. And at the rescue farm, we use all the products. And right now we're working on a new formula, and that's because I've started putting together a formula for something that's going on environmentally in the world right now with my own animals here, the rescue animals here. So from a collaboration point of view, it's been great to work with, really innovative microbiologists and microbiologists that listen to, the crazy ideas that I have. Like, let's look at turkey tail as a prebiotic. Let's look at chlorella as a prebiotic. Let's look at this. Let's look at that. And Dalhousie has been amazing with me, navigating through this. Is it 5 years now, our cancer research? Or 6?
It's 7.
7. See what I mean?
Like 2017 was when we started sending checks to them.
So Dalhousie's been incredible for us, and working with Dr. Vicenta and his entire team, and bringing on new interns, scientists and interns and things like that. That's amazing. And I feel like we're very unique. I always say, when we talk to banks or we talk to people that are looking at our company, we're not a supplement company. So every time someone says, "Oh, you're a supplement company," I'm like, "Yeah, no, we're not a supplement company. We are, our own research and development company. We're innovators with, cancer research. We're innovators with the microbiome. Like, we do our own research. We don't just rely, not on everything, but we don't just rely on someone else's research. We're doing our own R&D, which is very, very uncommon, like not common. And then we do it at a really high level. So I always say that my animals have guided me to take the right path, move in the right direction. And with Dalhousie, what was really cool is I put together something for Dalhousie to look at for my horses. I wanted to get some postgraduates from Dal to come out and do some research with stuff with my horses. And I put together this whole plan and sent it to them, and they came back not that far, like a few days later, and said, "Do you have any experience working with cancer with animals?" And I said, "Well, I'm too much experience, to be honest. My clinics were full of cancer patients. People flew from all over the world, actually, to come in Vancouver and come to my clinics." And they said, "Well, are you interested in maybe putting together a hypothesis and working with us?" So it's like, Dion's been supporting this farm, and well, Dion and I have been, he's been great as far as business partner goes, supporting this farm. And then because we've been supporting this, it's moved us into a completely different realm of supporting dogs, dogs with cancer. So yeah. So the collaboration's not just with the schools, is kind of what I'm saying. I'm feeling like the collaboration is with our animals, the intention and the spirit of the rescue farm, and how that moves us into all these other directions. From me, there's no separation. So, at my clinic, like I said, people flew in from Sweden with their animals with cancer. And back in the day, there was a big thing called shark cartilage. Everybody was using, all the, holistic vets and things were using something called shark cartilage to try and support animals with cancer. And I flat out refused to even have it in my practice, because to me, it makes no sense to torture or do anything unethical to one animal in order to save another animal. Like, to me, that's just an oxymoron, and absolutely not even in my bandwidth to think about that. I grew up on a dog rescue farm, and my mother was an avid nature lover. Like, my mom and my sister, belonged to Roots and Shoots and drove Dr. Jane Goodall around when she came to Canada to lecture. And so it was a topic of conversation all the time at our dinner table. So it's never been a separation. If you're going to look at using nature in order to heal yourself, your family, your animals, you have a responsibility to make sure that you're not just supporting, but giving back to something, right? To nature, even as a customer. But from a supplement perspective, or a company that's making money on, or making a living on selling supplements, natural supplements, we even have more of a responsibility and a obligation to be sure that we're protecting nature on every realm. There should be no hierarchy. And I try, and Dion's supportive with me with this too, is that the word natural is, greenwashing is a pretty intense thing right now. It's hard for you to walk down an aisle and everything looks like natural and beautiful, but behind the scenes you have no idea. It could even say sustainable, but it doesn't mean that it's sustainable for nature. It means it's sustainable for the business. So I love the fact that when someone purchases a product from ABA, that if they can't do a lot themselves for supporting nature, that they can actually know that when they're purchasing a product from us, that they are supporting nature, because it's really difficult to dig into making sure that every ingredient checks off the list of my list of what is environmentally ethically sustainable. So it's a big one. It's a huge one for ABA.
I think a lot of it is just about obviously sourcing natural, the best quality products we can, while giving back to earth, basically. With everything we're trying to do with mushrooms, even sourcing every single ingredient with the highest medicinal value possible. All products being touched by hand. I think everything that we do is just about giving the best quality product we can to actually help people and pets, I guess I should say.
And the planet, that's sort of what we do, right?
Planet, to not be sick, right? Because it feels like animals, being treated with products that aren't always making them healthy. So our huge game plan is obviously, trying to make animals healthy. And then the next stage of ABA will be to make them healthy every day with hopefully the best quality foods and treats and everything out there, which goes into the 10-year plan.
Where I fit into the relationships of our employees and me working with, everybody, and when we have meetings with everybody, is me trying to support and educate every single one of our employees with my philosophy, right? And the philosophy of the company, and the environmental aspect, and the balance, and the paying attention. So the philosophy, I guess, of ABA with our employees are we're one, right? We're one. It's just the same, like we're one with the planet and our animals. We're one as a team. You know, we're really one as a team. I feel like everybody works really well with each other. When I have meetings with, 15, 20 people even on it, you can see the camaraderie within the company. The energy that Dione and I are trying to bring to the world through ABA, I feel like it permeates into the company.
Everybody loves what we do. Most people that come work here are excited about what they're doing. We give everybody sort of lots of space to grow within the company, and sort of create their own role in a sense at times. But I think as far as, everything to do with ABA, it's about, working hard, helping pets, and really making a difference. Everybody is excited about sort of the future, possibilities. They get excited when we have new products. So it is one of those things where, the future looks very promising. There's a lot of opportunities. I mean, for the person or the people that started from 1 to 10, a lot of those people are still with us and have moved into a lot of different opportunities. Someone like Michelle Fan, who started in putting labels on bottles, is now controller for our company, handles all the financials for all of our business. And I think it's just, it is one of those things where the culture is so that everybody, works hard together. The possibility of growing worldwide, I think that's very exciting, because we are helping tens of thousands of animals in Canada and the US, maybe hundreds of thousands probably. And it's exciting to know that worldwide, mainly, Australia, UK, some of those other countries, they have huge interests for our line, which really shows how ABA is growing worldwide, and not just because we've put so much work into Canada and US, but globally. Our product is really being requested at this point. So it's exciting to now, look at that as sort of next steps for ABA over the next 10 years. And then doing a lot of manufacturing for ABA, where in the past we used to have third-party companies. It's exciting to look at where we've come to purchasing equipment and bringing a whole quality team in-house for Canada and the US to be able to manufacture all of our products ourselves, so that not only are we really careful in all the ingredients we're sourcing, but our equipment, our third-party testing, our employees actually touching our products as well too. That's a huge step for us for the next 10 years moving forward, is to be able to then possibly look at the possibility of doing that around the rest of the world.
Looking towards the future with ABA, for me, what's really important, we all know that we're in a massive climate change right now. So the New York Times just did something about how our animals are affected by it much more than we are. So for me, my focus for the next bit is bringing products to the market that are even more balanced from a perspective of healing the planet and healing our animals. So that's what I really want to do, right? Like I want to leave the planet. It's hard to say in a better place than when I came, because coming when I came, it wasn't in the dyers that it's in now, but I feel like people are really paying attention now. I feel like there's a lot more hope, and I feel like it's a perfect time. Perfect timing. Timing is always, important, but I think it's a perfect time right now for ABA to start bringing into the, pet parent awareness and in the public eye formulas and things that Dione and I've been working on for like the last 5 years. And I don't think that the world was really ready for them. And now I think they are. So I'm excited about launching some really first to the market that is much more much more synergistically aware of our companion animals' health and the planet health. So yeah, I'm super excited about that.
What would I have said to myself 10 years ago? I mean, I guess one thing is, don't get down when you make mistakes, because you're going to make 100 of them. And obviously in business, it's very difficult starting out. The first few years are very difficult to imagine that we would be anywhere near where we were. So I guess just having confidence in the fact that, your dreams can come true, and, continue to work hard every day, set goals. Goals are very, very important to what you're doing. You may have to rewrite your goals over and over, but definitely, have confidence in the fact that you're going to get there, and work hard at it every day, and you will get there successfully, because that's absolutely everything that we did do, and learned a lot from all the mistakes, obviously, that we've made over the years, but they're just mistakes, and you learn from them and just continue on.
I would say that don't let anybody tell you you're crazy. Don't let anybody try and rain on your parade. I'm a big I journal a lot. So before you move into creating a business or doing something, is like, you really have to, for me, sit with it. For me, I'm always in nature and with my animals when I do this, and write down write down the biggest, most elaborate vision that speaks to your heart and your soul, and then break it into doable pieces, but don't ever lose sight of what your final intention is. And don't let anyone tell you you're crazy. And to me, there's no such thing as a pipe dream. There's the only thing that's going to stop that is listening to other people, and I rarely listen to anybody. So I listen to Dione. That's probably why we're still in business, because I actually listen to Dione. Yeah, just keep the faith, constantly bring yourself back into the place where you created your vision. So, looking back 10 years ago, I did that, right? So I feel like we're really lucky. I feel like we're so lucky. I can't even tell you. Like, it is, when I talk to people and people say, how have you got to where you are? And it's like, because Dione and I have very similar energy, from a perspective of, he supports me in all my crazy and I support him in all his crazy, right? So what people would look at as crazy in business, or crazy in formulations, or crazy in research, if you're going to find a partner in business, or you're going to work with other people, you've got to work with people that you trust 100 billion%, and with people that you energetically connect with. You might have stronger skill sets, but your soul and your energy and your what you want, like, you know, that inherent thing can't be friction. It has to be, and I think that's what has happened with Dione and I. We're very supportive of each other's dreams and goals, right? So yeah,